Hey, welcome. It's Brian, and this is Guitar Solo Reactions. Today we are back with the incredible Matteo Mancuso and his trio. They recently finished a tour in the United States. Matteo, to me, is the answer of all of my jazz rock, fusion, hard rock prayers, I guess, for a younger player to kind of rise up and kind of take that mantle that was held by, and still is, by John McLaughlin, El Di Meola, Alan Holdsworth, Eddie Van Halen, all of these great players. There's a lot of great players out there today that, to be honest, supersede some of those great 70s fusion players. But do they have the musicality? And that's where Matteo comes in. I think he has amazing note choice, like a Jeff Beck, great kind of attention to dynamics. He's got all the technique, if not more, of a John McLaughlin or El Di Meola. And writes great songs. So anyway, we're going to do Drop D. This is a song I've done probably twice before, but who cares? I love Matteo. Let's check it out. Yeah. Yeah. Yes. Yeah. Yes. Monstrous tone. And I realized while I'm watching that the, Jeff Beck used his fingers. He didn't use a pick. Lots of obviously classical and kind of modern finger stylists that play acoustic use their fingers. But when you run a guitar through an amp, or in this case, kind of like a modeler with some gain, there's a certain kind of harmonic quality that you don't necessarily get with a pick sometimes, depending on how articulate you are. Because as you're doing kind of like rest strokes and stuff like what he does, which is totally unique to the electric guitar, how he does it, you get a little bit of this extra harmonic quality that sometimes a pick will does different things. It's not bad, but with your fingers, you can kind of get these kind of cool overtones that make it kind of sing in a different way. And I'm not saying that's unintentional or intentional. I'm not sure, to be honest, but you get this kind of harmonic quality that you won't get with a pick. So yeah, but you might get a different sort of attack. A pick could maybe be a more sharp, maybe more kind of brutal sound. I'm trying to think of the right word, but it's not as nuanced as fingers, is kind of what it comes down to. Yes. Yes. Nice. There we have it, the incredible Matteo Mancuso and his trio doing the song Drop D. To me, kind of a great rock as far as energy, some great kind of overdriven tones, and incredible soloing. And when I hear him, I kind of hear some of that. I'm not saying Eric Johnson was an influence, but you hear kind of that Sean Lane, Eric Johnson, and almost kind of like Frank Gambale and some of these players that are a little more um, horizontal playing, like they play through the notes like this. And because they're so articulate and they can kind of master the barring of a lot of strings, you get these kind of cool cascading like arpeggios and kind of runs that sound more like a piano player would do. It's very, very hard to get that kind of musicality unless you obviously work on it a ton and you have great fine motor skills, kind of like Matteo. But I hear that kind of stuff, and Scott Henderson, and I'm talking about fusion players mostly. And I'm not even sure Matteo listens to that kind of stuff, to be honest. But I hear that like this super advanced technique that 99.9% of most guitar players could never do. And then you get kind of this cool, you do hear some, basic kind of rock, not cliches, but you hear some kind of double stops and all of that. And so it's got that great energy of a great rock player, but the harmonic sophistication of like a fusion or even a classical player. And Alan Holdsworth, I would throw in there as well, as far as some of those really long, stretched out chord voicings, that stuff. And his approach to the instrument was really unique as well. So anyway, I love Matteo. If you're watching this, I hope you do too. If you don't know about him and you love guitar, check him out. Yeah, I'm Brian. See you soon.